showed some kindness to him. Until then, he would do the twins no favors by treating them like high and mighty Kyrgyz in the castle, when their lives were as cursed as his own. He only beat them down to keep them grounded. When he took flight, so would they. This was the night. He was perched on the edge of happiness. All of them were. He tugged the thin silk string, small and strong as a spider's web, that led from his fingertips to the tail feathers of a hobbled coral hawk. The shimmering pink raptor was enraged at the insult of being tethered. Proud birds, these hawks were, not used to being bait. This one flapped and shrieked, rising from the ground as far as the string would let him. Izat yanked him down again, simulating the motions of a bird that had been injured. Ghost eagles would only eat live prey, so Izat had captured this fine hawk first. Normally, the sale of a coral hawk at the market would be enough to keep him in drink and gambling at the Broken Jess for a full moon or two, with enough left over for his wife to stop nagging him about clothes for the twins, or alms for her crawling priest. But this hawk would hardly be worth the weight of its beak by the time it had served its purpose tonight. The loss of the hawk would be repaid with the reward of the eagle. It watches high upon the eyrie, thus only fools approach unwary. Yet for the faithful, it reveals the dreams they're seeking, or it kills. He whispered the old Uztari poem to himself while he waited. The trap was his own design, a delicate operation that relied on perfect timing and absolute attention. Only one falconer in 1,000 could capture a ghost eagle, and only 1 in 10,000 could hope to keep it once caught. It could not be tamed, but might be controlled. Might be. He had a buyer ready, a great Kyrgyz of the Sky Castle, one of the Council of 40, who already had an impressive cast of raptors in his muse. There were perfect gerfalcons and peregrine falcons and kestrels in every color imaginable. But the Kyrgyz wanted a ghost eagle more than anything. A man who'd mastered a ghost eagle would be revered. He could command armies and decide the fate of dynasties. He could crush a rebellion or ignite one. A man who mastered a ghost eagle might rule. Whether or not this man could master a ghost eagle was not Izat's problem. He'd been willing to pay any price Izat could name just for the chance to try. Prices Izat hadn't even the imagination yet to name. All he had to do was get this one into his net. Mountain, field, and forest alike were littered with the bones of those who'd tried and failed before him. The ghost eagle loves a worthy fight, but kills all who disappoint it. It has long found humans the greatest disappointment. Izat, however, had made a lifetime study of disappointment. His wife was disappointing with her fits of pious melancholy, guilty tithing, and awful cooking. The twins were the disappointing offspring she'd given him. The girl had a gift for falconry, a once-in-a-generation gift, but was reluctant to outshine her brother. What had Izat done to deserve a timid daughter? And to think of her brother. Izat felt the blood rise behind his eyes. Her brother was a waste of a boy if there ever was one. He was timid like his sister, and pretty like her too. He was slim and slight for a boy who should have been molting into manhood. In appearance, he was as far from Izat as a fish was to a falcon, but he looked back at his father with the same mountain blue eyes that Izat saw in his own reflection. His son had no special talents, no great intelligence or strength. He took up space and ate the mediocre food from Izat's table, and outgrew clothes beyond his mother's mediocre mending, and his every sigh and sniffle reminded Izat that this was the boy who would replace him one day. All sons destroy their father's legacy. That was the widening gyre of generations, but this one might do it while his father still lived. No amount of beating seemed to motivate the boy. He bled and bruised and burned, but he never learned. When men looked at his son, they saw Izat's own failings. If the fruit was rotten, so was the tree from which it grew, no? Izat shuddered. These thoughts weren't his. The bird must have been readying to attack. They said a ghost eagle could not only see the hot breath in your lungs and the warm blood in your veins, but could also see the weakness in your heart and show it back to you. This was a bird that drove its prey to madness before it devoured them. Brave men soiled themselves when it was